I asked him a question, and I said, look, listen, Nnamdi Kanu, I think you have a point that things are not running well. I think you have a point that the average young Nigerian is not getting much from the country. But my question is this. What you are agitating for, how is it different from the young man in the Southwest, from the Almajiri, from different people all over the place? Now, the other things that people are complaining about, this is what I've seen about Nigeria. There's a dangerous older generation who, if they continue to speak into the affairs of this country, I'm almost 60 years old. So I understand what I'm saying. There's a younger generation that needs to wake up to the fact that there are many people in this country who are not concerned about tomorrow, but they will only look out for their today, and while using innocent, inexperienced, perhaps foolish young men, we will keep ending with things like this.
Do you agree with the way the military has handled this situation?
Let me tell you the truth. I got a call from Bauchi. Igbos have started moving out of Bauchi. A lot of little skirmishes here and there, apart from the official information channels. Better realize that in Nigeria there are unofficial information channels. What we are looking at today is child's play, frankly speaking, to what I was expecting by this week. The truth is that if we had allowed the trickle of flow of persons from Kano, from Bauchi, from all over the place, and then a total evacuation of northerners from the southeast, if it had been allowed to happen, just one little spark, this entire nation, let me tell you something, Nigerians don't seem to be able to think deeply. But what we have just escaped in these few days here is a total destruct of this country.
Can we place IPOB and Boko Haram on the same pedestal?
You cannot, and I'll tell you why you cannot. Irredentist calls are completely different from what the Boko Haram represents, which is terrorism. Terrorism is a global problem. There are methodologies by which we tackle terrorism. Now, when it comes to irredentist calls, irredentist calls are all over the world. There are people calling for the Oduduwa Republic. There are people calling for all sorts of subdivisions, not only in Nigeria, all over the world. But there are standards by which this kind of things are prosecuted. Definitely not by calling for arms, calling people to donate money, bring guns, bring this, to shoot people up. And the elders who should have known better, who should have helped to manage this situation properly, took political advantage. People were taking pictures with him. People were encouraging him. And we were watching that. Do these people know what they are doing? Look, here we are today. Some young men are dead already. Their death must not be in vain. We need to solve this thing once and for all.
When the federal government says this, Nigerians must understand that IPOB was not set up to fight for the right of anyone or group, but as a tool to destabilize the nation, divert attention from the efforts of the Buhari administration, and obliterate the laudable achievements of the government. Do you think there is some political intonation into all of this, especially when they also say, oh, the sponsors are politically disgruntled persons? An underlining statement in these, is this some sort of political fight underneath all of these issues of violence that we're seeing?
Again, I insist that we must become a thinking people. Remember in the years of Obasanjo's rulership, remember Odi, November 20, 1999. Now, there are certain narratives in Nigeria that are alive and working. The military narrative is one of it. The political is one of it. We were engineered to fail. I've kept saying this, that anybody wise enough looks at Nigeria, who understands chaos theory, will realize that from the beginning, Nigeria was not designed to succeed.
How?
Well, this is what I mean. Prior to, just while we were agitating for independence, I'll give you an example. The British, who were our overlords, never really intended for us to get independence. It was not the real plan from the beginning. We were supposed to be a colonial administration to feed their nation. Now, somewhere along the way, eyes begin to open up. Out of the 18 territories that the British had in Africa, the French, I think, had 20, we began to agitate. While we were agitating, they knew by experience, over 600 years of experience, that sooner or later, Nigeria is going to gain its independence. So they plan and think ahead, knowing that they have engineered you, divide and rule, and all sorts of things that are being put inside your foundation to keep you fighting one another, to emphasize religious differences, to emphasize tribal differences. If you go into the colonial archives, all these things are documented there. So what are we talking about?